So let's go ahead and we're going to move on into the stories here. And the first story that I'm going to perform for you is known as Halfdan's New Longboat. You know, it's been quite a while since I've been back to my old home village of Scotland here, so I decided to go back, hook up with my good buddy Stan to catch up on the news. And we headed on up into town there, and I noticed that there was a new longhouse up on the edge of town. So I go, hey Sven, what's with the new longhouse there? Did somebody new move into town? And he says, nah, that's just a new berserker longhouse, see? And we keep all the berserkers up in there now. If it ever takes to keep them happy, we send it to them. If they want beer, we send them beer. If they want food, we send them food. If they want women, we send them more beer. And I go up there and I look at the door, and somebody had closed the door and put a bar across the outside of it, and there was a little sign above it that said, in case of war, break bar. And there was a whole lot of noise coming from inside there. I go, hey Sven, what's with all the noise there? And he goes and looks through the window and he says, oh, they're just having an axe catching contest. Sven, you think they're having an axe throwing contest? No, they're having an axe catching contest. Ooh, and Harold just missed. That is not a good sight. So anyway, we decided to head back down into town, and as we're heading down into town, we notice there's a whole lot of people hanging out down by the fjord, so we go to see what they're all looking at down there. Halfdan got himself a new longboat, and he is so happy with this new longboat, although he is a little sketchy in the details of how he got it. Something along the lines of, the old owner don't need it no more. Yeah, sure, you betcha. And I'll have to admit that it was a really nice longboat. There was a little fire damage on one end, a few axe blows on the side there, but other than that, it was in really good shape. But I also noticed it had about 30 oars to a side on that there longboat, you know, and that's more able-bodied men than we got in the whole village to row it. Of course, nobody was going to say anything to Halfdan. Well, okay, Wiglaf, he did start to say something, but a little foot-to-foot communication and a quick swim in the fjord, and he quieted right down. Okay, well, he didn't exactly quiet right down, because we weren't too far out the winter, and the fjord was mighty cold, and he wasn't too happy about taking an ice water bath, but at least he didn't say anything to Halfdan, which was a good thing. So anyway, like I said, you know, Halfdan, he's really happy about this longboat of his, and he decides he wants to go oar dancing. Now this is a problem, because that's more people than we got to man the oars here, so we piled the whole village into the boat, all except the berserkers. We kept them up there in their longhouse. The whole village into the boat, and we're all hanging onto the oars and just to one side there, and in some places we got 2 and 3 keys to an oar, hoping they could kind of just hold it down. Well, anyway, he goes and he jumps out of the back of the boat, he lands on the oars, he runs up the side of the boat, he jumps in the front of the boat, we all let go of the oars to one side, we're running to the other side, we're trying to get the oars out before he jumps off the front of the boat, but we don't make it. And he lands right down there in the water, right next to Wiglaf, and he ain't no happier about taking no ice water back to Wiglaf, because I can tell you that. About that time, we decided it's a good idea to go back up into town, because nobody wanted to be there when Halfdan came up out of the water. He may not be a berserker, but he ain't told that far off, neither. Well, that's the story from the village of Scotland, and I'll let you the next time I go back for a visit. Yeah, sure, you betcha.